Now, if there are any doubts about any of the points that I made, you are welcome to ask questions. You can ask any question.
Please raise your hands and our volunteers will pass on the mic to you.
Yes, please come out with the questions. Don't hesitate.
Yes, Ma, this is Vishal Gupta. Ma, thank you so much for coming to Mumbai. And thank you so much for clarifying few things which are so difficult to understand, especially the part of being a puppet. For being a puppet and being an instrument. Because that was one part which was difficult for me personally to kind of accept it, but which I have been feeling for my entire life. So thank you so much, because that is the part which maybe a lot of people are not able to say it, because it feels very offensive that, I have no free will. So just one last thing. So we have no free will. Just want to confirm this. We have no free will, Mala? Because I feel we have no free will. We are all puppets and we have to accept that and in fact surrender. And that surrender is the beauty where we feel the tension go away, the anxiety go away. But that is what I have done. I have surrendered and now it's...
That's very good.
So we have no free will, Ma. I just want to ask that.
Right. See, that's one thing that Bhagavan said. Practice not only the presence of God, practice acceptance. Acceptance of whatever life brings to you, be it a joy or sorrow. Coming from the source, it can only be a great blessing. No matter how difficult it is, how negative it is while it's happening, if you still believe firmly that this is happening by the will of God, it has got to be a blessing for me. Very soon it will reveal itself how it is a blessing. Please take my word. I have gone through many experiences and they have proved again and again how everything that happened was only a blessing. So practice of acceptance, it may be reluctant acceptance in the beginning, but will slowly flower into surrender. Surrender to the will of God, accepting everything as the will of God. Any other questions? Yes? Thank you for saying it. Very reassuring.
Namaskaram, Amma. No question, but there's a request. All these spiritual journey you have undergone, you have traveled through,
Yes.
and all the various experiences, valuable experiences which you have experienced, if we can, your autobiography should come out. because, because it will help many seekers, because seekers need things like this. It's my request. Thank you.
Because he asked, I will tell you one small incident. I was going to pluck a flower. He wanted it. Immediately he came behind. The flower was up there on one of the top branches. So I had to bring a stool so that I could climb on it and do it. And when I was just about to pluck it, he said, Devaki, be careful. See that you don't hurt the tree and you don't hurt yourself. That, the words coming from those great beings can make a very powerful impact upon you. And I began to feel that hurting others is ego, but getting hurt is also ego. What is getting hurt? Your ego is getting hurt. So just like that, they would utter something. Another time, we were returning home from the ashram after the darshan. At the end of every evening, we would collect whatever vegetables were left out and give it to the servant. So the servant maid was waiting. We were late that day, so I rushed inside and there were beans. And there was no time to pick up a vessel, so I just collected them in my hands and ran to Bhagavan gave it to him, and then he gave it to that servant maid, and she went away. After that, when I turned, I saw one pod had fallen. Then I felt very ashamed because it was slipshod work. I should not have done that. I should have been very careful because I was with Bhagwan. And then a little ashamed, I said, Bhagwan, sorry Bhagwan, one pod had fallen here. He said, he looked very stern. He said, Devaki, go and take it and eat it yourself. I had never eaten a raw bean, the pod. But then when Bhagavan said something, we had to follow. So I immediately rushed to the place and picked it up and started eating it. And to my great surprise and delight, it was very tasty. So I exclaimed, Bhagavan, it is so tasty, Bhagavan. Immediately he said, Devaki, it is not the taste of the bean pod. It is the taste of your surrender. Everything that he spoke is a teaching for the whole world. Those simple things, if we consciously practice, it doesn't matter how many times we fail. Let us try 100 times and fail 99 times, which I did. But 100th time we should get up and try again. That is sadhana. Bhagavan said, this trying again and again is sadhana. That is tapasya. Your struggles will be recognized by God, and the grace will complete the task for you. Any other question?
Jai Guru Ma. Madam, thank you very much for guiding us for chanting. But when we go home, sab bhul jate. So please guide us so we should chant.
Understandably.
Please.
That is why I said, start chanting now. And then remember, no matter what, suppose your partner, say your husband or your wife, started shouting or something, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi. Don't say it loudly because it will add to the anger. But inside you keep saying Yogi Ramsuratkumar. If you think truly that Nama is that one right solution to all your problems, you will not give up. It's just that you are not convinced that Nama can be the ultimate solution to all your problems. Just believe. Because, when you get, I always tell them, when you get into a taxi, you have faith in the driver. When you get into a plane, you trust the pilot. Why wouldn't you trust the words of a master? A great master, one who has become one with the entire creation. I would also playfully say, you listen to the TV, there will be some advertisement for a particular paste or something. The first time it would be all noise and you would say, why do you play all these things? You plug your ears. But the second day, third day, it would be going on, and without your knowledge it would enter you. And when you go to the bazaar, the fourth day, you would go straight to the shop and buy it. So I would like to say, there are two ways of listening to any satsang. One is listening with the ears and the brain, where you understand as much as possible for you. The other is, there's a transmission from the soul of the speaker, especially if the speaker is experienced, to your soul. Direct transmission is there. So whatever I spoke today are the words of Yogi Ramsuratkumar, no less than God himself, because he's one with God. He's coming to our rescue any moment you call out. So they are the words of Yogi Ramsuratkumar. So they've been transmitted to your soul also, and so they would start working. Please don't underestimate this. As you proceed with your life, after going back home, with your everyday life, these words come up now and then suitably, and they will start working. So this transmission to the soul is also there. So you don't have to worry about it, but start practicing. Practicing is everything. Remember, the goal of life is remembering God. That's all. Yogi Ramsuratkumar. If there are any other questions, I'm so happy with you that you are responding so well. It's a gift to the speaker.
Thank you,
Pranam, Ma.
Ma. So, Ma, repeating the name can change your karma?
Can change your karma. Sometimes, it works this way. The past bad karma creates troubles, obstacles in getting the work done. For example, somebody's marriage is getting delayed. They would have stopped the marriages of so many people in their previous birth. So they have to go through the sorrow of missing the marriage. So it's getting delayed, the proposals would come and then they would finally say no, and then they go through agony. Because this is the agony they had given to people in their previous birth. But if the same girl starts, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, please find me a suitable guy, and very soon at that, give me this anugraha, and if she persists in that, you can be very sure that 75% of the karma will be taken away, and only 20-25%, and sometimes even not that, the Karya Siddhi will take place. You can try yourself and see. That's why I'm saying you can experiment with the Nama and see for yourself the magic of the name. If it has failed you, you can be sure that you have not done it properly. You have to try. See, you are ready to work very hard for money. You are ready to work hard for anything that you want. Why shouldn't you work hard on Nama chanting? Don't give up easily. Be a go-getter. Just keep on. You challenge God. Challenge. So you've given this name. I will repeat it like this 47-year-old woman who conceived and gave birth to a baby girl. She's so happy and the whole ashram is happy. Is it possible otherwise? So you can make your karmas into dharmas if you connect your every karma with God. Otherwise they will only be karmas. Suppose you cry because you have lost somebody or you have lost some jewels. Your tears will not give anything back to you. But if you cry the same tears, holding on to the feet of God, calling out His name, it will help. You will see how the tears change. Something or the other will happen to make you happy, and you won't give another thought to it. We have to try and try hard at that. And remember, trying is tapasya. But if you have already made an equation yourself, this is it, this is grace. How can the grace do this? And then you question and question, you never get answer. It pulls you down and down into depression. And after that, it will be very difficult to come out of it. Only when you think that whatever suffering is given to you in life has divine justice behind it, and it is a benefit for the person and as well as for the people around. The human mind will not accept anything unless it's a benefit. And it is a benefit. It is true in this case that everything that happens is only an ashirvad. It's only a blessing. Be very sure of it. Hold on to that. This is positive thinking. And it is true because you are connecting it with God. Once you take refuge at the feet of a holy being, 75% of your karmas will be removed. The 25% we are unable to bear, so we scream. Yes?
Pranam, Ma.
Yes.
Thank you for giving us good guidelines. I have two questions. Initially, you said difference between awareness and consciousness. Can you say more on that?
See, at one level, beyond the human mind, there is only awareness. Awareness is, I am aware of you people. You are aware of me sitting here. This is awareness. This ordinarily in our life, awareness is consciousness. I'm conscious of you people being here. ஓ இத்தனை நேரம் கேட்கலையா சரி 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 So you please increase the volume. Oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't know that. So, I don't remember what I was saying. Awareness and consciousness. In the beginning, before the universe appeared, there was only this awareness. I call it awareness, people call it awareness, it's a terminology. It means there was nothing else to be aware of. So the awareness is aware of only itself. There was nothing, there is one without a second. This is Advaita. So the awareness is pure awareness, being aware of itself. But slowly there was a stir in the awareness, a desire arose to create. And that is when the awareness becomes consciousness, because now it's Shakti coming into effect. It was Shiva, the consciousness, pure. Now from the pure awareness, a desire has come to create. So it is Shakti at work. And then, in a pure mind, a desire-free, pure mind, any single thought would immediately materialize. Have you not seen Mahatmas materializing things? All they have to do is, I want diamond necklace, a diamond necklace would be in hand immediately. Such is the power of the mind, a mind free of desires. So, as soon as the desire to create, they call it chalanam, a stirring movement, then the creation started. When the creation started, it became pure consciousness inside, and around this pure consciousness, this body was formed. So Paramatma, the pure consciousness, is now surrounded by Jivatma and the body. So the difference is, then awareness is pure consciousness, Ishvara's consciousness is pure consciousness. Even there is no Ishvara. Raman Maharishi says, Ajatavada. There is no world except in your imagination. I tell you one thing, every night you go to sleep, you dream, and in the dream, everything is very real. Can you say while dreaming, are you aware that you are only dreaming? Everything is so real. Suppose a snake or a tiger should chase you, you run for your life, and then you scream and you wake up. And then you find that you are very safe in your room, very comfortably positioned, and there is nothing at all to fear. There is no forest, no tiger. But when it lasted, it was very true. Right? Now this life of ours, 70 years, 80 years, 90 years, 100 years at the most, is a long dream. We are all dreaming. So it is very real to us. My sitting here and talking to you is so real to both of us. We cannot even for a moment think that this is Maya, this is a dream. But when you wake up out of this consciousness, this level of consciousness, into a higher level of consciousness, you would know instantly none of this existed. Just as you wake up out of the dream and know that it was only a dream and nothing was real, you would also wake up out of this level, that is the level of the great Mahatmas. They come to Samadhi and they live in that pure consciousness, the pure awareness, and to them the world doesn't exist at all. So this is it. So Raman Maharishi, he stayed in that pure awareness state. I asked Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Bhagavan was so sensitized, if somebody plucked leaves from a nearby tree, he would be writhing in pain. His whole body would be trembling. I told him this Raman Maharishi is sitting there like a mountain. Even if a thunder should fall down, he wouldn't be moved. Whereas you react so much, even to a small sound, somebody plucking a leaf. He said, both of us are established in the same truth. But Father gives different leelas to different people, different missions to different people. Ramana Maharishi's mission was to stay put in that state, to show people there is such a state. This beggar's mission is different. So leelas would be different, just as the body differs. Ramana Maharishi's body looked different. Yogi Ramsuratkumar's body looks different, different features. So the mission is different. The cross-sections of people who come to them also different. But the ultimate truth in which they are established is one and the same. There will be no quarrel between Yogi Ramsuratkumar and Raman Maharishi, but between the devotees there may be differences of opinion. You understand? That is the irony, another irony of life. Any other question? Oh, I'm so happy. I love questions.
I'm an ardent lover of God, and then I also say this, I am a product of Ramakrishna Mission School
Yes.
from Chennai. I am not sounding negative by asking this question.
No.
Bhagavad Gita says that your bad karmas, whatever I think, there is no escapism from what you suffer today or in the current world because of your bad karmas. So by chanting the namas as much as possible daily, are we getting, number one, a solution to the sufferings of our lives day-to-day basis, or it's going to give us some solution maybe in the
Problem in
later
hand.
stage and reduce the gravity of the problem, or is going to have a bank like storage for the next janma or next generation or
Well,
your next birth, whatever it is. So how will you react with this?
It is very difficult to calculate and divide like that. You have to look upon the whole thing as grace, pure grace from God. As the experiences teach us, in some cases, when people have depth in their chanting, devotion and concentration, it can burn up the whole karma. In some people's cases, we see 25%, the tail end of the karma left behind, and they have to go through it. I have seen it with Yogi Ramsuratkumar. He would say, somebody would come in the 4th stage of cancer. He would say, you are cured. My father has cured you. If that person believes it 100%, when he goes to the doctor, the X-ray would show that he is free of cancer. But the person doubts. Oh, Swami says that how can it be? I would rather go to a doctor and get treated. Swami says it will also come true, but let me also go to a doctor. Then accordingly, the karma will react. We do not know what the calculations are that are involved in that, but it is different in different cases. But mostly, if you take up a prayer for worldly problem, it gets solved. If it doesn't get solved, it can mean only one thing: either you have not done it properly, or if it comes to you, it's going to be harmful. You can be sure this is called faith. Faith in the goodness, faith in the words of the Master. That's what we believe, Tom, Dick and Harry. Why wouldn't we believe? Why wouldn't we have faith in the words of the great masters? Raman Maharishi says, Atma Vidya Adi Sulabham. Is it Adi Sulabham for you? He speaks from his level. It was Adi Sulabham for him because he had done up till that in his last birth. The tail end that was left behind was completed in this. Somebody went and asked Raman Maharishi, Raman Bhagwan, that Bhagwan, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa simply touched Vivekananda. then he got into that ultimate experience. Can you not touch me and give me that experience? Ramana Maharshi says, I can do that, but you are not Vivekananda. You see the difference? There was one man who went to Ramana Bhagwan. He said, I am married with children. I want to come to Tiruvannamalai and do my sadhana. I don't want my wife or children. I want to be free from them. Can I come to Tiruvannamalai? Ramana Maharshi kept quiet. He would not answer many of the questions. So this man again persisted. He said second time, third time, please tell me, can I leave them and come? Then Ramana Maharshi spoke, looking at him, don't come. Don't leave your wife and children, stay put there and continue your sadhana. Then this man got angry. You ran out of your house, you came away. You came running even without informing your parents. You ran to Tiruvannamalai, you are asking me not to come. Raman Bhagwan said, I did not ask anybody. You are asking me, which means you are in two minds. When you are in two minds, don't make any decision. Just wait for some more time until guidance comes from God. So you see, there are differences, different levels, and your own understanding capacity, your own nature, your karmic account of experiences. So many differences are there. So it can work one way or the other, anyway. It's very difficult to go into those details. Let us trust the wisdom of God and get into practice. Jai Yogi Ramsuratkumar.
So I'm Kavita Sarthi. I'm one of the Mumbaiites. And so very, very grateful to Ma that she's chosen to come here. It's a momentous occasion for us because I've been going since 23 years. And like Ma said, she hasn't stepped out of Tiruvannamalai, not even out of the ashram she goes, because that's been her sadhana. So for her to come here, I mean, it's like a dream. And I would like to request that she come again. So we would like to invite you to come again. So I also like to say that, like she says, Yogi Ramsuratkumar is totally present in Tiruvannamalai. I can say that today we all experienced him. Thanks to Ma, and true gratitude from the bottom of our hearts for this wonderful occasion. Because each one of us has been touched by him and by Ma and their blessings. And without doubt, our lives are never going to be the same. Correct, Ma?
There's just one thing. He is not only vibrantly present in Tiruvannamalai, he is present in your heart, wherever you are. You go to Alaska and call out, there his grace would immediately become active. He is a living presence, and there is no place where he is not. There is nothing that he does not know. There is nothing that he cannot do.
Wow.
He is all-knowing, all-pervasive, all-powerful, almighty.
Wow. What a takeaway. There's nothing that he cannot do. Don't forget that. Thank you, Ma. So also wanted to thank everybody here that made this possible today. All our volunteers who've really worked around the clock to make this happen.
Yes.
And thank you everybody for that. And thank you to the people who have come with Ma and who brought her all the way here, who've been doing seva as part of this tour. I'd like to thank everybody. Wanted to say something that when we first got this opportunity to do satsang in Bombay, we were like 5 or 10 people, and we knew about 20 others, you know. So we're wondering, how are we going to get people to the hall, you know? We'll put it up. So then as we were dividing the seva, I told Bhagwan, your seva is to bring whoever wants to get connected to you to this hall. So congratulations, everyone. Bhagwan has brought you here, each and every one. And this hall is completely filled by people who have been brought here by Ma's love and Bhagwan's love. So we continue, believe it or not, the love doesn't stop here. We get a chance to come up for darshan in a line, and Ma will bless each one of us. And what she will give us may appear to be just a locket or a picture or a fruit. But believe me, these are the things which you take home and will truly, like she says, if you believe it, then it will give you everything,
Yogi Ramsuratkumar Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar Jaya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar Jaya Guru Raya. 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 Yogi Ramsuratkumar Jaya Guru Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar 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 Jaya Guru Raya. பல்லாண்டு பல்லாண்டு பல கோடி நூறாண்டு. பல்லாண்டு பல்லாண்டு பல கோடி நூறாண்டு. பல்லாண்டு பல்லாண்டு பல கோடி நூறாண்டு. வாழிய வாழியவே வாழிய வாழியவே வாழிய வாழியவே. யோகி Ramsuratkumar. Yogi Ramsuratkumar. Yogi Ramsuratkumar நீவீர். பல்லாண்டு பல்லாண்டு பல கோடி நூறாண்டு. பல்லாண்டு பல்லாண்டு பல கோடி நூறாண்டு. வாழிய வாழியவே வாழிய வாழியவே. மங்களம் ஜெய மங்களம் மங்களம் ஜெய மங்களம் மங்களம் சுப மங்களம் மங்களம் சுப மங்களம். சர்வலோக ரக்ஷணே கஜாகரூக மங்களம். நித்யயுக்த 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 மங்களம். நிர்மலாய நிஷ்டலாய निर्ममाय मङ्गलं. योगी रामसुरत्कुमार देशिकेन्द्र मङ्गलं. योगी योगी राम सूरत कुमार देश पाद मंगलम योगी राम सूरत कुमार पूज्य पाद मंगलम। भगवान श्री योगी राम सूरत कुमार की जय। सर्वं योगी राम सूरत कुमारार्पणमस्तु। योगी राम सूरत कुमार जय गुरुराया। योगी राम सूरत कुमार जय गुरुराया। योगी राम सूरत कुमार योगी राम सूरत कुमार योगी Yogi